What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk about the price action that has been happening this morning, what's causing it to surge as much as it did, especially after the CPI data. So I do want to give you a quick summary, but before I get into any of that, you guys know the deal. Smash your thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. Let's get right to it though. So as you can see on the intraday chart, you can see that there has been a lot of fear leading up to this, and then CPI data did come out. In case you do not know, CPI data as of right now was a little bit more higher than expected. So the base CPI was 7.5, whereas the forecast was 7.3. Based on the core CPI, it was 6 versus 5.9. So it is over, which at the end of the day does show that there's some level of inflation. And at the end of the day, there was a huge anticipation among big institutions that CPI was going to be 8 plus. So a lot of people were hedging their bets against that. So this is definitely very good despite it being up. So this is one factor that I do think is causing it to go back up a little bit more. So you can definitely tell based on all of this. I'm going to touch on some a little bit more in depth as well. And as you can see, live ticker to my left, it is officially green today. As far as volume, 8.5 million shares as of right now, whereas the block volume is 757,000 shares being purchased by institutions within the first hour. And I'm going to tie that all together. So again, when you go back down to this, I like to do a little bit more in-depth analysis and things like that. So this is my platform on TD. So I'm just going to show you exactly some things, some outliers. And so when I typically look to see some root causes, especially more so from the institutions and what they can cause, because I do strongly feel a lot of people downplay exactly the importance of institutions in actual day-to-day markets. Because at the end of the day, if you see all this, yeah, that's all fine and dandy, and these are all every single trade, every single tick. More specifically, I always look at the bottoms because that is usually the telltale sign of a reversal and things at kind of the starting point as well. So I'm just going to zoom in here and just kind of single out some of the smaller ones. So there was some right here. So you can see when CPI did come out, it caused a little bit more of a sell-off. You can see some institutions did back up the bus. $74,000 trade for the most part, relatively small. You can see some getting in around 50,000, but at the end of the day, it's all in line. What you always want to look for is gaps like this. Institutions that just legitimately cause the price to surge. And usually once that does happen, a lot of algorithms kick in from other institutions and hedge funds and signal a buying opportunity. So you can see right here, there was a huge gap, roughly about 17 cents over the ask. And you can tell right here, it was exactly 112,000 shares, which works out to be roughly about $3.3 million in a trade. So again, in the bigger picture, this is one of the root causes of what caused us to surge as much as we did. And if you do look at the chart, that is very similar to a lot of stocks. A lot of institutions bought around this time frame because, again, going back to the CPI data, it wasn't as bad as what the anticipation was. So that is one reason why I do strongly feel it is up as much as it is, especially piggybacking off of yesterday's momentum. It definitely should be at least a good continuation because at the end of the day, this was one of the only factors that people were more so fearing. The next big thing that a lot of people are looking for, more so from the economic standpoint, is March the 16th. That's when they're going to be making a decision on the rates. So that is something as well for us to look forward to. But until that date, there's a lot of good catalysts to come forward for Lucid. So just be prepared for that, one of which is their earnings. Very excited for that. Tentatively, it is on February the 21st, but as of right now, there's no confirmed date. And I'm just going to refresh this. I'm going to give you some updated data points as well. So looking at this, so you can technically, it's the short info, 2135 is the short interest, roughly about 60% up from 1 week prior. So that is a big deal. Day by day change, despite everything, it is actually increasing by 0.17, which works out to be 245,000 additional shares being shorted. So I do strongly anticipate if this does continue for the rest of the day, there's going to be some shorts closing their position by the end of the day as well. Utilization is also at 100%. Given all the circumstances, I'm very happy with what is happening with Lucid, and just want to give you a new round of 13Fs that did come down the pipeline. So you can see there is a lot of institutions. So you can see Citigroup does have quite a lot of puts, but they did actually add to their physical shares by 3,107%. 10%. So definitely on that front, they are very bullish on Lucid, and they're still doing that strategy, right? They have calls, puts, and actual physical shares as well. So I'm very happy with the new round that did come down the pipeline. Obviously, over the last couple of days, there was anticipation that BlackRock was going to be doing theirs, and unfortunately, most likely it'll be tomorrow. It's obviously give or take around 3 months, and they submitted it on November the 9th. So give or take, it should be over the next couple of days. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Lucid, and if you did buy today, let me know. If you haven't already, smash a thumbs up, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. Greatly appreciate that. With that, let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.